Hello everybody! Just thought I'd show you what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to rebuild this bathroom. It had a tub in it and I wanted a walk-in shower. Pretty happy with it. I still have a shower curtain on order, so I haven't been able to use it yet. But I've got it all installed. This is actually it's a 4-piece unit. You get the base down here. Get that in, and then this back, it's curved. It makes the 90 in each corner. That's another piece. That's piece number 2. And then you got the right hand side and the left hand side. And really, it didn't give me very good directions, or I didn't consider them very good directions. So when I ordered it, I just sort of had to take a leap of faith. It's made by Kohler Sterling, but it's really a Kohler company. So I trust them, so I went ahead and got it. And once I got it, I was very pleased with the way it was made. Made a little different than I thought it would be. It's a lot thicker. It will not bend, so you have to have almost a perfectly cube to stick it in. You can see here there's a seam here, but that's actually blind. It slides. There's a slides in a groove right here, so it goes down. You pick it up, slide it in this way, and then go down. So it snaps together. And then at the bottom, there are small grooves down there that it snaps into. And then I had to square up these walls. And then I put in this shower head. This is the actual shower. I put in 2 outputs here because I wanted one of these little handheld showers. But I didn't want 2 valves. This is a mixing valve here. So you turn it on, and you can either have both of them running, or you can have one at a time. I did put these little $6 valves in here. Or actually they're $4 valves, so you can turn one off, or turn them both off, or turn one on and one off. And the nice thing about this little handheld shower, it comes with this little suction cup. You can put this anywhere you want as long as you got a nice smooth surface, and it holds pretty well, it looks like. So. But in reality, we've got about, I'd say, almost twice as much space to walk around in here. Easily get 2 people in here. And this is the most unusual part of it. I did offset this a little bit because I wanted this to shoot the water to the back, actually inside the pan here. I put this shower rod, lined it up so that it would want to fall inside. Most walk-in showers, you have trouble keeping the curtains inside of them. But I did not want the sliding doors. They're just a pain to wash and stuff. Another nice thing about this shower is the only caulk in it is right in this corner, the other corner over here, and around. When you get all done, it says to paint, get all finished painting, then you go around it with 100% silicone just around where it meets with the wall, and then there's one little groove right here. You silicone that. That's it. The rest of it's just smooth. Should be easy to keep clean. Of course, I had to paint the whole room when I got finished. So that's what I've been busy doing the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on the beginning of my video, and then I'll let the video show you some of the things that I had to do to make this thing fit. While I'm talking to you though, I'll give you a couple of hints. If I had this to do over again, what I would do is I'd put the base down And the first thing I would do before I ever fastened it down or anything, I'd push it where I thought I wanted it. And then I would bring this big panel, this back panel, this is one big panel. Set it in there. Just set it in there and hook these ends on, because that will make you a giant three-sided cube kind of. And that'll show you how how much leveling you're gonna have to do, not leveling, but to make the walls plumb with it. It does not, it's an immovable object basically. If you tilt the back, then the front doesn't fit. Then if you try to, you cannot tilt the back towards you, because it just won't go. It's hooked onto the bottom down here. So it has to be almost perfectly square. And I tried to do it ahead of time, and I kind of wasted my time. So there's actually that wall behind me used to tilt back about an inch in one corner. That corner there was fairly square, but this corner over here was off by at least an inch in places. So really what I did was I put in 2x4s. You'll see it in the video beside my old the original 2x4s. And what I ended up doing was putting one screw in the bottom and then set this unit in here, and then just pulled them out the top until they matched up with the enclosure. And then I just screwed them to the other 2x4s. That would have been much simpler than me trying to, I worked for a couple of days trying to get it perfectly to match it, and no matter how I did it, I was always off. So that was easy. If I'd have just done it that way, I could have cut a couple of days of my job off. I guess one of the most important things is to get this base as level as you can, for several reasons. And I had to do a lot of plumbing underneath, because some of the plumbing that was the original plumbing I couldn't tie into it because it was poorly installed 20 some years ago. So I had to rip it all out and kind of start over. I'm really glad it's done, because I was getting tired. Crawling in and out from underneath the house is not my idea of fun. So here goes the video. You get to see some destruction. Hopefully we can call it construction too. I'm going to back up so you can kind of get an idea what it looks like. I painted this with a paint called, it's actually Glidden paint, called Snow Shadow. I wasn't sure whether it was green or blue or what. And the odd thing is, if you turn on the lights in here, I'm going to turn them on, you're going to hear a fan come on. It kind of turns white. So it's very light colored when you turn on light to it. But then when you get shadows like today, where it's just at the window lighting it, it's pretty blue. I kind of like it. I'm not crazy about light blue. When I was painting, I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done? But it kind of goes well with the shower, I think. First thing I did was put in some isolation valves so I could turn the water onto the house. Now I'm going to remove all the things that come through the wall. The faucet, 2 handles, shower head, curtain rod so I don't ruin it. Took the cover plugs out. Now I'm going to take out the screw on each one, and then I can take all this apart. Okay, so now I've got the water isolated, the water turned back on in the house. Got the handles off. Well, I got the trim and off in pieces. It was all siliconed in. As I was taking it off, some of the shower came apart. I think it broke right there. Anyway, I'm going to cut down the seam, that corner, see if I can get a piece of this out of here. Well, I cut from one corner up to the tub, another corner. We'll see if it'll come out of there. I'm trying not to cut it into the wall any more than I have to, because there could be electrical lines back there, I don't know. Well, it didn't come out like I thought it would. It didn't break. It broke above the cut. That's okay. I got part of the end wall out. I can see the drywall behind it, which kind of surprised me. So now I'm working on the end with all the fixtures. Cut through here. So far so good. See if I can get that off of there. It's actually put on there with big, long, I mean really long nails. There's the old plumbing. There's those valves I put in. Alright, I checked the square on these walls. This right wall is the only square wall of the three. That one's going to stay. This wall is way off. I would say from the bottom to the top it's off by about an inch. And I was trying to think of how to get it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out all this drywall so that I can see the side of the 2x4s. Then I'm going to cut a 2x4 that'll go all the way to the ceiling inside that wall. And I'm going to slide the 2x4s, a new 2x4 on the side of it, and screw them into the sides of these 2x4s. So basically, I'll have a 2x4 running on the inside of this one side of the other of this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. I'll show you if I ever get it done. So right now I'm going to take my cut-off saw and cut along the sides of these very carefully. I hope. On the back side of this is another bathroom with ceramic tile, and I don't want to crack it. So I'm going to have to be kind of gentle. I'm going to try it with the cut-off saw. If it's too rough, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a hand saw. Last I got the hole for the drain. I've got the drain attached to the pan. I've just got the pan sitting in there now. It's sitting on a piece of felt that they furnished the felt. For some reason they wanted to sit on felt. So it is. And it doesn't, I've pushed on it all around, it doesn't wobble, so she looks like that's where she's going to be. Now I just got to attach it to the wall. Okay, so now I've adjusted everything to fit my product. My Sterling walk-in tub. And I've installed some places to mount my pull bar. I've marked on the wall where I'm going to cover up how far down I can measure to put it right in the center of these boards. Got this moved out. I took a vacuum and vacuumed out all these little grooves. That's what it snaps into at the bottom. That's what holds the bottom in. Basically it's held in at the bottom and at the top and hooked to these studs. I had to grind out about 1/4 of an inch on this one stud. It was bowed out, making it hard. Same way with this one. And now hopefully my wife and I will lift this in for about the 20th time. Okay, I took these end panels back off. I'm going to also want to show you guys how it hooks in. Hooks in there, snaps it in. It's got a lip that goes right inside here, so you got to push it back and then drop it down. Both sides are just mirror images of each other. Take a lot of pictures and edit out what you don't want. So basically, if you get water up here, it'll run down this crack and drain out at the bottom. You see how they made it kind of angled. Pretty ingenious, really. Alright, I last got my drains in yesterday. It took me over a day to reroute all my drains under the house to fit this the middle drain rather than the tub used to have the side drain on the end drain. Anyway, I got that finished, so now I'm back up on top of the house or on the floor, I should say. And I wanted to show you guys something. I tried to get this wall, all three walls, to match each other and to match the diagram that came with this. But obviously I failed, because now that I've got the back in, the back piece is the most important piece, let's face it. It ties in with all the other, it ties in with all the other pieces to this. So basically we got the floor unit, which is very important. I do have it level. I do have it waterproof. I do have it so it drains completely. And I do have it covering the old tile. I do have this wall where I want it. This wall's fine. But really, when it comes down to it, the end walls are flexible. And as long as you get the bottom right and the top close, you're good to go. Same way with this end wall. I got a place to screw it down. It's like I say, it's flexible. But this back wall is not flexible when you hook on these ends. This is molded solid. It ain't giving. The only way it gives is if you kick it back, and then that pulls these end ones, as you can see. So I did put all these studs beside the old studs so I could move them. And thank goodness I did, because what I'm gonna do is go along and mark all these. You see all marks all over them. That's the way I was trying to get it square, but obviously I didn't get it done. So I'm gonna have to pull this over about a ½ an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and make a diagram to myself, and then take this back panel. It's just sitting in here. All this stuff is just sitting in here right now. I'm going to go along and I'm going to make a diagram how far out I need to pull these studs. As you can see, the closer I get to this corner, the better it is. This corner is perfect. This is perfect. But then somehow, I'm not sure what I did wrong, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take this down. After I measure it, I'm going to measure each one of these. And if possible, I'm just going to leave the tops loose and then just put this back in. And I'll make sure that I've got place for all my nailers behind. I watched a couple of videos that I could find on this, some from the company. None of them really told me what I was going to face here. This is an excellent shower, very thick vinyl or whatever it is, very thick. We chose it because of the arch in it. So anyway, I want to make myself a little diagram, see where I need to pull those, which ones I need to pull out. I need to pull most of them out. Not pull them out, but tilt them out. And then when I get all done with that, this is going to be drywall, so you'll never know it. This is the most crooked room that I've found in this house. I just got to make some adjustments. I hate to pull that thing out. It's kind of heavy. You really need two people, but if you're careful. So these sides just snapped on there now. I can just pick up on them and take them out of there. And I'd like to get this back fastened down today, and then I can go on with the plumbing and screw it all to the wall and get this over with. Okay, I'll be back with you. I'll just give you an update. I've got my mixing valve installed. Got it coming up, headed for the shower head. Yeah, I got a little bit of purple stuff on it, and then I branched it off into a T, and I went up, and I'll go around the other side and show you. There's the front side of it, the mixing valve, that is. And now I've got these two heads sticking out here. This one is going to have a one of those handheld shower heads, and this one will be the normal shower head. I offset the normal shower head to the left a little bit so that when you're standing in the tub you would be forced to aim this slightly to the right, and that will maybe keep some of the water from hitting this shower curtain so hard and making a leak. I don't know if it'll work, but that's the way I did it. I looked into all different ways to get a shower head and a handheld shower. I didn't like the ones that the handheld shower was the shower head, so this is what I chose to do. So now I'm going to go get me some green board or pink board, purple board, whatever they call it, water resistant drywall. Start drywalling. I just got all the pieces in here to make sure I had everything. That's how I hooked up my shower. Those are some heavy duty mounts. And I did add these little shut-offs. I wasn't sure how much pressure I would have if both of them were pressurized and running at the same time. And I really didn't want that one spraying out here. So anyway, I put these shut-offs. They're only $4 a piece at Home Depot. Well, I got my nailers in, and I've got one piece of purple board, not green board, but purple board up. And tomorrow I'll probably get the rest of get it roughed in, and then it'll just be a matter of trying to match this wall. This is going to be my biggest headache, because this is 5/8, and then it's got almost 1/8 of an inch of plaster on it. Yeah, it's a plaster disc, because the guy had blasted these walls. Really, really rough texture. I mean, enough to hurt you when you leaned against it. It looked like a big wasp came in here. So to get rid of that, rather than re-drywall the whole thing, just plastered over it and made these swirls in it. So actually, I kind of like it, but I couldn't find any. Well, I only went to Lowe's and Home Depot, but I didn't see any 5/8 water resistant drywall. So this is 1/2 inch, and the only place I'm going to meet up is this one seam. So it's a really long seam, the whole length, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to have to put a little shim in here and pull it out. I am going to have to plaster it, because to make it match, still going to have to plaster it, but not that much. I mean, I had to plaster it because it had 1/8 inch bumps all over it. But I'll see tomorrow when I put it up, see how bad it is. What I'm thinking is I could put maybe a, I don't know, an 1/8 inch shim on here, bring that out close, within maybe 1/16 of an inch, and then taper it over to here and get going. Hopefully that'll be a long enough transition that I won't notice it. It'll be it'll be a pain in the ass. What else can I say? But anyway, I'm happy that I've got this far. filling in the deep crevices right now. And after this dries, wiping it down with a sponge, wet sponge, and then I'll tape it. Then I'll put another coat on it. Still drying. Well, I got it painted and waiting for the paint to get hard. This paint is strange. When you put a lot of light on it, almost white. But then when you take the light off, like now, it's blue. Still trying to decide whether I like it or not. I'm still waiting on my my handheld shower. I had to order online, so I just got this old white shower head on there now in case somebody flips it on. Should be here any day now. My plan is I'm going to take this out of here, and it's going to be just a 4-inch nipple coming right about there, straight out, and then the screw on the handheld shower, and it'll come right down, and it'll hang about in here somewhere. We'll see. And the shower curtain, I need a longer one than 6 foot. I needed to sit down in here just to make sure the water doesn't get sprayed out on the floor. I really didn't want to attach this lower down here since this is hollow. So hopefully I can find one that's about 76 inches or more. I had a 72 inch and it just barely touches the bottom. It's going to make a mess. As we put it in, it's got this cool little suction cup holder. It can also be directly glued on, but I prefer the suction cup. Suction cup works good on the slick surface. This is the paint that I used. Got it at Home Depot.